Warning: the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive to some viewers or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Are you ready?
Four boys, I got grandchildren. It is immoral for us to have a deficit this high.
American taxpayers' hard-earned money is being wasted on covering bicycle commuting expenses such as bicycles, bicycle locks, bicycle parking storage, bicycle safety equipment, bicycle improvements or accessories including reflective lights, racks, bicycle repairs, and general maintenance.
If Lauren Boebert wins her 2024 election, she will become eligible for a lifetime congressional pension, funded by, you guessed it, the American taxpayer.
It's not great for the American taxpayer to subsidize this to bureaucrats.
I would personally consider that to be horrible and reckless spending, but thankfully it might not come to pass because it seems like her decision to switch districts has utterly blown up in her face.
Since the first day I ran for public office, I promised I would do whatever it takes to stop the socialists and communists from taking over our country. That means staying in the fight, but it also means not allowing Hollywood elites and progressive money groups to buy the 3rd district, a seat that they have no business owning. I will not allow dark money that is directed at destroying me personally to steal this seat. It's not fair to the 3rd district and the conservatives there who have fought so hard for our victories, of which I'm incredibly grateful.
Number 1, Jerry Sonnenberg got 22 votes. Number 2, Mike Lynch with 20 votes. Number 3, Deborah Flora with 18 votes. Number 4, Richard Holtorf with 17 votes. Number 5, Lauren Boebert with 12 votes.
Her fundraising numbers have plunged as her MAGA shtick seems to be wearing on the residents of her new district. Even Donald Trump's recent endorsement doesn't seem to be enough to draw the right kind of attention to her run, and pretty much everything that she does, politically and personally, is drawing all the wrong kind of attention.
Well, it has been wonderful to be in a room full of people who understand that there are 2 genders, 1 God, and 1 final term for Joe Biden. You guys have been so welcoming, and it is an honor to stand before you this evening. It's been an honor to fight for Colorado and to fight for America.
Boebert was so arrogant, she thought she could wear this outfit to convince the locals that she's one of them. Is that supposed to be like folksy, or is she just as excited about Beyonce's turn to country music as everyone else? Anyway, she thought that switching to District 3 would make her election a slam dunk, but she may now be regretting that decision.
There were already 4 prominent Republicans running in that open seat, including a prominent state rep, 2 former state senators, a radio host. Boebert may be counting on a fractured primary field to allow her, with her existing high profile, to retain a seat in Congress, even though she currently represents none of those constituents.
Look, I'm an outsider. We need outsiders in Washington. We don't need career politicians that go from seat to seat to seat. We don't need politicians jumping from one district to another, coming in here and thinking that they know what they need to do for this district, okay? We need real representation in here.
You're a Christian. Many members of the House have preached and voted as Christians. Lauren Boebert is one of them who has invoked God and Christianity and values very often. She was caught doing something that was a little unseemly on camera the other day. What do you say to Lauren Boebert?
I say that if you're going to talk the talk, you need to walk the walk. I mean, we all answer to God. Not everybody's a Christian just because they say they believe in God. I mean, Satan believes in God. Satan knows scripture.
She's out there saying the most dangerous thing in America is drag shows, and yet she's at a family event with her hand between some guy's legs. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I don't know about in public. Do it in private, but she's a good-looking girl.
I want to talk about Lauren Boebert a little bit. Have you heard what's been going on? Have you seen the stuff recently? All right. So she was in a theater the other day. This is a person who said that drag shows are the most dangerous thing in America, and she's at a family event, and she's basically got her hand between some guy's legs and caught on camera. What do you think about that hypocrisy?
I mean, here's the deal. I think at the end of the day, we can all be hypocrites at certain times in our lives. And, for me, God saved that in me and, understanding what's right and what's wrong and leading my life through faith and choosing not to do those things. I think that a lot of people put on a show for camera versus when they think that they are behind closed doors. Governor Newsom, certain other people, Pelosi, what they're doing when we're all shut down in a pandemic. It's a lot of people do things behind closed doors.
Are you aware of what happened with Lauren Boebert? And what do you think of that? And, she's talking about family values, and then she's at this family.
She was wrong. It was inappropriate what she did.
Politicians like Lauren Boebert talk about draining the swamp and protecting the taxpayer, all the meanwhile grifting every cent they can while in office. And she didn't even wait long to start cashing in. Back in 2021, Boebert was caught using campaign finances to pay for rent and utilities at her now failed open carry themed restaurant Shooters. And in 2022, it was reported that she failed to file reports on her stock and cryptocurrency transactions. Rather than simply admitting that she left her district knowing full well that if she stayed, she'd lose and miss out on that big lifetime pension, she claimed it was a message from God that led her to move.
When God highlighted this position, I promise you, I did not have to wait for CNN to tell me I was not qualified. I was the very first one to say, God, I think you have the wrong person. I argued with God for about 3 days. I argue with God a lot, often. I cannot say that I've ever won an argument, but I still try. I'm very persistent. But it's so interesting how he answered that argument. He didn't say, yeah, you're right, you're a failure, your life kind of stinks. Maybe you should have finished high school. Maybe you should start at a lower level. He didn't agree with all of these things that I saw as disqualifying. Instead, he pointed out something that he put on the inside of me, something that I had not recognized as a God quality, as something that God had given me. He spoke to me and he said, I created you with spontaneity, so when I say go, you go.
I don't think it was God that sent that message. No, I think it was like Ryan Reynolds and Barbara Streisand who sent that message when they donated big to Democrat Adam Frisch's campaign to oust her.
And the Aspen donors, George Soros, and Hollywood actors that are trying to buy this seat, well, they can go pound sand.
With how tired her district had grown of her shenanigans already, she didn't want to go up against that kind of big money. But now it seems like her fundraising woes have simply followed her to a new district. The Colorado congressional primary will take place on June 25th. And here's hoping that District 4 kicks her to the curb and we can be done with her brand of crazy for good.
Can't make this up.
Hey everybody, it's Jeff. So, hope everyone's doing okay. Another gloomy day here in Maine. A little bit of rain, but not much. And it looks like, I don't know, it might get better as the week goes, who knows. The weather, sometimes when they predict what the weather's going to be, they're usually wrong. Not too many things going on around here. A lot of talk, though, in Bangor about the mall itself and what they want to do with either the building or the land that it sits on. So there's been a lot of discussion about that because I think what it is I get the feeling they're giving up on the mall part. Maybe the city is anyway, and they want to take that piece of land and develop it into like elderly housing or something like that. I don't know, but a lot of people in the area have a lot of ideas what they could do to save the mall, because they compared the Bangor Mall to the Portland Mall, and apparently the Portland Mall is in much better shape than Bangor, and they're saying, well, maybe we should do stuff here that they're doing down there that might make the difference. So I don't know, but it would be a shame if the mall closed, because it's during the wintertime it's a good place for people to go if they they want to just walk around and maybe shop a little bit. They've only got like 35 stores in the mall right now, so it's like okay. But I don't know what they'll be able to do to fix it. Some people say the building itself needs a lot of work because it's leaked throughout the years, because it's a flat roof, and you don't build flat roofs in the state of Maine, okay? But there's leakage everywhere, and there could be mold in the building, so they'd have to go through that whole building and just evaluate whether or not it's even feasible to try to keep it going. I don't know. So anyway, you saw the video there. Lauren Boebert, the clown. What was with the John Benet Ramsey get up there? Cowboy boots and the hat and everything. I mean, she looked like a clown in front of all the other people who were there, who were dressed normally. She shows up looking like John Benet Ramsey. Christ. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I mean, I don't know. She really is whacked out of her mind. And, what she did in the theater beside that, it's just, she's crazy. And the things that she says, how can anybody take her serious? I certainly can't. I don't see how anybody that voted for her originally can take her serious. I mean, she didn't win by a big margin as it was, but the fact is that she's got a bad history. Her family is a wreck. Her personal life is like she lives like a teenager, hot to trot and everything else. I mean, she's just not fit really to be a representative of people. I mean, don't we have enough clowns in Washington? Jesus. I mean, I think we need to start reeling in these people and saying, okay, look, we got carried away. The American public got carried away with this. Trying to think outside the box, and it ain't working, because when you start thinking outside the box, you always got some dingbat that wants to think outside the planet. Okay, and apparently they thought way too outside the box. Okay, they were so interested in draining the swamp that they actually put in the House, in power, people who are the swamp. Okay, they're making the swamp bigger. They're not draining it, they're making it bigger. So, it backfired. Their plan on trying to undo things that were done in the past, it backfired. They just made things worse. It's not that people have to find folks who are not politicians to be in politics. You got to find honest people, okay, to be in politics. Okay? It's like, if you're going to look for a judge, okay, let's say you want to find a judge who's going to sit and be fair and do the right thing. Okay, are you going to go looking around at comedy clubs and stuff like that to pick your judge? To think outside the box, saying, well, we have to look outside the system to find a good judge. So let's go to these comedy clubs, these, nightclubs and stuff like that, and pick and find these idiots, to be judges, okay, because they'll do better. Really. Okay. And what makes you think they will? They haven't spent one day on the bench. How the hell will they know? The law or anything like that. So what do you expect you're going to get from crap thinking like that? But crap. Well, that's what we did here, in 2016 when everybody was on this fucking mission to cleanse Washington, D.C. of the establishment, okay? Nobody really knows what the hell they're saying or what they mean by the establishment, okay? Everybody's got their idea of what that is, but nobody knows exactly what they mean by establishment, okay? But what somebody should have said is, no, we don't want to get rid of the establishment. We want to get rid of the corrupt elements in the establishment, okay? That's what we're trying to do here, okay? You don't throw out the whole barrel because you got a few bad apples, okay? You pick the bad apples out of the fucking barrel. That's what you do. But that's what, nobody thought of that. Instead, we all think extreme. Everything is extreme. You know, oh, if you got a cut on your hand, let's wrap it up in a cast. You know, that's extreme thinking, you know. And this is where people like Lauren Boebert and Moscow Marge here come from, is that extreme thinking. We thought so extreme that we actually opened the door to the nuts from the nut house to come in and take a seat at the representative tables, okay? Boy, did we fucking screw that up big time, didn't we? We really did, okay? It's so bad they can't even function. It's a do-nothing Congress, you know, and the Democrats are sort of like sitting in the background watching these Republicans tear each other apart. You know, because they're so extreme that nobody, it's like everybody's an alpha in this new Republican group here. Everybody's an alpha. Everybody wants their time in the light. Okay? That's what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing right now. She's turning on her own just so she can get all the fucking spotlight on her. Trump fucking material, if I ever saw. I mean, her and Trump should be married. Probably kill each other though, but at any rate, that's what you got. And, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, this is an example. People need to remember this in the future. The next time you go vote for somebody, okay, you know, pick somebody that's sane, will you? And at least has a somewhat decent family life, and not somebody that's going to draw negative media attention every time they open the front door to their house. Okay, try to find people of some caliber. I know it's hard, okay, because not everybody's going to have the same belief system you do, but at least they're honest, and you know, they live a relatively clean life, okay, and they're not going to embarrass you because you voted for them. I mean, isn't that worth something? I mean, because a lot of you people out there, I know, will not admit that you voted for Trump, okay, even though you're Trump supporters. You're not going to vote. You're not going to say you voted for him because you know how much of a nut he is. You know how bad he is right now in this country. So you won't admit it, even though you might be proud and run around with your bumper stickers and stuff like that. If somebody caught you in the restaurant and asked you who'd you vote for, I know you're not going to say Trump, okay? I know that. You're too embarrassed. All right? But for the rest of you out there, okay, if you want to go down with that sinking ship, you know, fine. Go down with it. It's not going to hurt us any if you fail. Okay? Just bear in mind that we know who you are now. So if you try to raise your voice and come out of the woodwork again for some other jackass, okay, we know where to find you. Okay? We know where to find you. And we know your names. We know what you're affiliated with. Okay, you guys, you opened your own zipper, and now you've exposed yourself to the whole world, so we know what you are now. But for the people there, I mean, I know there's a lot of regret, Colorado, for Lauren Boebert. She's losing a lot of steam there in her campaign to come back. I don't know what she's going to do if she tries to do anything illegal to steal to get the seat back. I don't know, but I don't think the people are going to allow that to happen. But she certainly isn't helping herself by saying the things she does on the Congress floor and you know, and the bullshit she does, you know, in public with her boyfriends, or you know, the crap that she does or that she wears going to, you know, I mean, what the fuck is this? You know, people, you know, I all I can think of is, you know, 30, 40 years ago, somebody like her never would have even got, you know, like, even would have got into the fucking door as a possibility to run for anything, okay? They'd have laughed her out of there. It goes to show you how far our country's degraded since then, to even think that, oh, we should vote for her. You know, that even the fact that there's just even 100 people out there who would still vote for her is a disgrace. It makes the whole country look like a laughingstock, you know. And I can't blame other countries for picking on us because we can't seem to pick people who are worth their fucking weight in gold. I mean, they can't do anything. You know, it's sad. But, you know, we're not really showing people how a democracy is a better thing than, say, communism or socialism or whatever the hell else other ism you want to put in there. You know, we're not setting a very good example, okay? And I think for some, that's part of the reason why we put these clowns in there, is they want them to ruin our image. So that way they could say, see, the democracy doesn't work, okay? That way the people who support Putin can get what they want, which is a dysfunctional democracy that they can literally turn inside out whenever they seem to get the power to do that, and destroy it from within. Because you can't destroy this country militarily. You can't win a fight with us. So how do you beat the United States? You beat it from influencing the inside of it. You know, getting the kids out on the campuses to riot against each other, you know, one fighting the other when both sides don't even understand yet that you're both fighting for the same thing. You want the war to stop. You need to come together for peace. You know, go to Washington, D.C. and protest out there to end that war. You know, for them to bring peace over there, to stop the killing. That's what you people need to come together on. Forget this who did what, when, and where, okay? Those are details that are only going to get settled at the table when these people come together to stop this fighting. Okay, you get peace and then you get the discussion. You don't do the discussion first and then get peace. It's the other way around. You have to bring a stop to the fighting, to bring the people to the table so they can iron out their differences here. Okay? That's what you got to do. But no, you see, in America, we always got to have an enemy, don't we? We always got to protest against something. Peace is not good enough for young people, I guess, today. It's not a big enough issue, really. How many wars have these young people have gone through yet in their life? You know, Jesus. So, like I said, you know, this is the kind of shit the Republicans like. They want to divide the country. They want to keep splitting the country up into little divisions, so that way when it comes election time, people are throwing their vote all over the damn place, and the Republicans will just squeak through all the elections and get right back into power. That's how they win. Divide and conquer. Let's go to commercial break.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me!
This is me.
I'm Alex Curtis. I'm a lobsterman in Maine, and this is me.
I'm Ruth McLaughlin, and this is me.
I'm Eric Hopkins. I'm an artist, and this is me.
This is me.
Me.
This is me.
This is me.
This is me.
At the end of the journey, the main thing is you, original.
They love their brother. They have been through so much together as a family. They have always stuck together. But the brothers and sisters of RFK Jr. know their brother best. And they know he should never be president. RFK Jr. believes even the polio vaccine is unsafe.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Once a longtime heroin addict, RFK Jr. has crazy right-wing conspiracy ideas. He's not a serious candidate, but he's a dangerous candidate. Because a vote for RFK Jr. is a vote for Donald Trump. That's why even those who love him like a brother are all supporting President Biden.
The best way forward for America is to re-elect Joe Biden. That's right, the Kennedy family endorses Joe Biden for president.
Hello, YouTube. It's me, Ted Cruz, here to tell you about a revolutionary new health supplement that helps you lose weight and build muscle. Introducing Trump's Tiny White Balls, the powerful new dietary aid made by Republicans for Republicans.
I find Trump's Tiny White Balls to be absolutely delicious, and this weight loss candy is pretty good too.
Trump's Tiny White Balls are designed to be licked and or sucked slowly to ensure timed release delivery of the powerful protein and enzymes located at each ball's core.
This delectable confection is made from only the finest white chocolate made in America. No inferior brown or black chocolate is allowed in this time-tested all-white recipe.
Once you suck your way down to the creamy center of Trump's Tiny White Balls, you activate the patented power-packed filling, made from a proprietary blend of plants, twigs, roots, and lizard semen.
Donald and I may not agree on everything, but I still enjoy the taste of his balls. However, I do find them a little firm and crusty for my old 127-year-old teeth. So what I do is, I roll Trump's 2 tiny white balls around in my hand until they get moist and pliable. Once they're soft enough, I pop the former president's balls into my mouth and enjoy that creamy blast of Trump's rich protein. Yum, yum, yummy, yum, yum.
Personally, I like to lick Trump's Tiny White Balls, much the same way I did as a kid with a Tootsie Pop. It's more fun than driving drunk into a rock wall.
I've been obsessed with Trump's Tiny White Balls ever since my drag queen days.
It's a brand new product, George.
I'm fully aware of that.
The claims that this product helps you lose weight and gain muscle are just plain ridiculous. I mean, come on. I licked Trump's balls for over a year and I'm just the same amount of doughy as I've always been.
That is absolutely true.
Just look at this picture of me at the pool, for God's sake. I've got man boobs.
You can barely get your go-go boots on.
Really, Casey? At least I don't draw my eyebrows on with a Sharpie.
Hey now, is someone being a little bitch?
For God's sake, you look like an angry bird.
Most people have a preferred method to consume this groundbreaking new health supplement. I, for example, like to put 2 of Trump's balls in my mouth at the same time, then I sort of swish them around for a bit.
So essentially what you're saying is that you like to gargle Trump's balls.
Yes, I gargle Trump's Tiny White Balls as a way to break down the crusty outer shell.
Hello, it's me, Candace Owens, here on the set of my hardly watched online show, Black People Behaving Badly. Clearly, too few African Americans enjoy sucking on Trump's tiny white balls as much as I do. Perhaps it's because they're too busy abandoning their children and faking their own kidnapping.
When I'm facing a long day on the Senate floor, I like to fill my throat pouch with Trump's balls. That way I can skip lunch and devote even more time to destroying democracy as we know it.
I may have hit my head, but I didn't hit it that hard.
In addition to Trump's tiny white balls being packed with protein, each 2-ounce serving also contains more fiber than 5 pages of top-secret government documents.
I'm not just the owner of Trump's Tiny White Balls, I'm also a customer. Here I am before using this great product, and this is me after sucking my own tiny white balls. Here's another before. And just take a look at this after. Once again, this is before, and now check out the after. Not bad, right? This before really shows how far I'd let myself go, and this after proves just what's possible when you suck my tiny white balls.
Side effects may include blood clotting, constipation, skin rash, racism, memory loss, diarrhea, dizziness, anal warts, drowsiness, stupidity, dry mouth, shingles, intolerant headache, insomnia, bigotry, acne, nausea, hatred, delusional thinking, hallucinations, hearing loss, impaired motor function, dry skin, vomiting, more diarrhea, cancer, slurred speech, uncontrolled flatulence, maniacal thoughts, rickets, hemorrhoid, hair loss, high fatigue, more diarrhea, and premature death.
Thanks for watching Scared Ketchup's second MAGA-mercial, Trump's Tiny White Balls. If you like that one, be sure to check out the first in the series too. A fun ad for a terrific Republicans-only laxative called Imopium PM, now playing only on Scared Ketchup's YouTube channel. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more of Scared Ketchup's wacky brand of all MAGA, all the time comedy content. Because if you don't, you'll be hearing...
Be a part of the entertainment value of a lifetime.
I loved it.
It was the best performance I've seen in a lifetime.
I loved the show. I liked it very much. He's a very entertaining man. It's well worth the money.
Now appearing in Charlottetown, coming to Halifax November 6th to the 18th, and St. John November 20th through the 26th.
Okay, to further discuss here Lauren Boebert here, there's this article here from Newsweek Online, published, what's today's date? Published 2 days ago. It says, Representative Boebert's fundraising from individual donors suffered a huge drop in the first few months of 24. After she opted to move to a more conservative congressional district, according to her campaign's latest Federal Election Commission filing. Boebert, a conservative from Colorado, raised about $388,805 from individuals in the first quarter of this year, according to the filing, while she outraised each of her Republican rivals ahead of the June 25th primary. She raised less than she did in each quarter of 2023, when she raised more than $2.7 million from individuals not including PAC money. During the first quarter of 2023, for instance, she raised about $562,988 from individuals. She had her strongest quarter of the 2024 election cycle from July through September of 2023, when she raised about $795,185. Meanwhile, her campaign expenses have increased. Her campaign spent more than she raised from individuals so far in this year, with expenses totaling $761,255 during the first quarter of 2024. This also marks a rise from quarter 4 in 2023, when they totaled about $684,437. She still had more than $1 million on hand by the end of March of last year, according to filing. Grant Davis Rear, a professor of political science at Syracuse University, told Newsweek on Monday that whether Boebert should be worried could depend on how much effort she has put into fundraising, but that any drop in funding is something a candidate will be concerned about. Quote, if the same effort is producing less money, especially in comparison with other firebrand conservative Republicans, then it's possibly a concern. Changing districts to one further away from where she lives, even though she is in effect a national candidate, would also likely complicate her fundraising effort and throw up some additional challenge, unquote. Rear continued, quote, even though she is the apparent frontrunner in the primary, she has to win that race too. And primary campaigns can be expensive. That has to be factored into the equation of what she's raising versus spending, unquote. Kyle Saunders, a professor of political science at Colorado State University, told Newsweek that while it is not a positive sign for any candidate to raise less money, the primary, rather than the general election, is her main fight. And Trump's endorsement of Boebert may carry a lot of weight in the district. Quote, the less competitive nature of the district may have also slowed fundraising from individual donors, but also she's so far ahead in campaign finance that she's not at all hurting, unquote, Saunders said. The drop comes after Boebert announced late last year she would opt to run in Colorado's 4th congressional district rather than seek re-election in Colorado's 3rd congressional district, after incumbent GOP Representative Ken Buck retired from Congress this year. Boebert has said the move is related to her personal life, but political analysts noted it could benefit her politically as well, as her new district is much more Republican than her former, which backed former President Donald Trump by only 8 points in 2020 and nearly elected a Democrat over Boebert in 2022. The 4th district is comprised of the vast rural eastern part of the state, as well as some Democratic trending suburbs of Denver. Boebert faces several Republican challengers in the primary. Although her fundraising dropped in the less competitive district, other Republicans continued to raise much less than her. Radio host Deborah Flora appeared to come closest, raising about $169,627 from individuals. Logan County Commissioner Jerry Sonberg, meanwhile, raised about $130,894, but Democrat Ike McCorkle outraised Boebert as he received a total of $786,260 from individuals in the first 3 months of this year. It remains unclear whether the election is going to be competitive in November. Trump carried the district by only 18 points in 2020, and Buck easily won re-election in 2022. The Cook Political Report classifies it as safe Republican, meaning it is, quote, not considered competitive, unquote, and, quote, not likely to become closely contested, unquote. Boebert faced several controversies in recent months. In September, she apologized after being asked to leave a performance of the musical Beetlejuice at a theater in Denver after allegedly repeatedly vaping and being disruptive. In February, her 18-year-old son Tyler was arrested on 22 charges, including criminal possession of a financial device, criminal possession of ID documents, and ID theft with intent to use. So, so that's the story here. They're breaking it down into numbers and dollars and cents, you know. But she's seeing a drop. You know, these things hurt her chances. Like I said, these, you know, with her son and everything. I mean, Christ, you know, the kids, her family, it's always something that, you know, they're doing wrong. Either her ex are out there exposing himself to kids and, you know, whatever the hell else is going on. You know, I mean, it's just, why do people in that party, you know, want to back when they have the chance to clean house, to get rid of her and replace her with somebody else? Why would they want to stick with her and continue this fucking parade of circus crap that goes on with her in her life? You know, it's not like she's done anything while she's been in Congress to help anything. In fact, the Republicans have accomplished nothing as a whole. So really, what do they got to lose by getting rid of her and replacing her with some other Republican? You know, really, try something else. Why go for another turn? She had her chance, she squandered it. Get rid of her and find somebody else. You know, you want somebody that's going to hit the ground running and doing what you want them to do. You know, even Democrats think that way. You know, so it's like, you know, why would the Republicans want to continually put something back in there that keeps coming back as acid reflux? You know, I feel like, look, you guys, if you really give a shit about your country and you really, really care about things getting better in your, you know, in your neck of the woods, because you cry and you riot at the White House, try to destroy the Capitol, you guys are obviously really intent on seeing some change. So why do you keep bringing in the same assholes all the time that keep things where they are? You know, that's what I don't understand. When their term comes up, get rid of them and replace them with somebody else until you find the right fuck, you know, that you want to put in there, you know, when you start to see things that are better. You know, isn't that the way it's supposed to work? Isn't that the reason why we got term limits, to give people a breather after a time, so that way they can assess whether they've done the right thing, or maybe now make some different choice? I mean, if we didn't have that, you'd be bitching on the street. We need term limits. I mean, we do now. I mean, for like the Supreme Court justices, we certainly do there. Okay, I think we shouldn't be forced to swallow the fucks that are sitting on the bench now and doing what they've been doing, trying to legislate from the justice system. Okay, but in this case, here's a chance to get rid of somebody who's really got a swirl of bees around her all the time wherever she's at, and she's not a positive thing. When she opens her mouth, she makes a fool out of everybody that represented her and voted for her, okay? Enough of that. You people don't deserve to be treated like shit, because that's the kind of person that gives all of you a bad name. When she screws up on the House floor, does something in her private life, it all blows back on you guys because you voted for her. So stop being the victims. You know, stop being the victims. Get rid of her. Find somebody else to put in there, even if it's somebody that ain't that popular, okay? Put somebody in there. Anything that's better than her. Anything's better than her, okay? Kick her to the curb. Let her go do what she's going to do, which is going to be nothing, okay? And then put somebody else in there who might do something for you, who might listen to you for once, okay? Isn't that what you want, as a representative that hears you when you cry and hears you when you complain? Because right now, the Marjorie Taylor Greens and the Boeberts and all these other ones in there, they're not listening to you. They're in there fighting with each other. They all got an agenda. Each one of them has their own little agenda, and they're fighting with each other to see who's going to get their way. Okay? That's not the way you govern. That's not the way you govern, okay? And your vote is much more important to us, to the country itself, than to the people in D.C. We need that vote. They don't, because they're not doing what we asked them to do. All right? They're not doing what we asked them to do. In fact, they're making it difficult for any of these people to get anything done. So they're holding up the works for everybody. That's not the way you're supposed to do things to make the country better. No, that's what you do if you want to destroy the country from within. To let everything continue to keep falling apart in this broken pace, all right, and just not doing anything to fix it. You know, I like I said, I mean, it would seem to me like very logical reasoning to say, look, we screwed up. You people should just admit we screwed up, and we're going to fix it now. We're going to get rid of the jackasses in there and put a real party in there that wants to get stuff done. Enough of this divisive politics. It hasn't done any good for this country at all. We are where we are now because we've divided ourselves so much that we can't even come to the table and negotiate. You know? A government is supposed to work together. Everybody on both sides of the aisle. I mean, yes, you have that set up as a division, okay, the right and the left. But there's no law that says these two sides can't come together and talk. You know, there's no law that says we can't work things out and come to a compromise. But you see, this era that we're living in right now is an era where nobody wants to talk. Everybody wants to get their way. And we're killing each other over it. And this is not just happening in the United States, it's happening in the world, okay? Where it's happening in the world. What's going on in Israel is the violent example of what I'm talking about. Where these two sides, they just go into war with each other. No side wants to listen to the other. They want to annihilate each other, okay? That's what our government is doing right now. It's one side's trying to annihilate the other. All right? And we can't govern this country in that fashion. It will not work. All right? That right there is a sign that our democracy is broken right there. When we cannot come to, because what a democracy requires that we compromise. It is a must that we have to find a compromise in a democracy. It cannot work without compromise. And the fact that we won't do that anymore now says our democracy has already failed. Okay? It's more than just the Bill of Rights and the Constitution and all the other things that we have as a foundation. It comes down to compromise. People have to, in order to avert a total collapse of our system, we have to compromise. And if we can't do that, then guess what's going to happen next? The whole thing comes apart. The wheels fall off the wagon. Okay? Some people out there would clap and applaud when that happens, okay? Those are the enemies of our democracy. Those are the real terrorists in our country, the people that wish for this to happen, all right? And we know who they are. But the fact is that we cannot function, you know, in this manner, all right? A house divided, you know? So the Boeberts and all them, okay, look. You might have got your kicks out of that for a while, but you know, it's getting old now, okay? It's starting to really hurt people's lives now, and we need to get them out. We need to start thinking serious. So, you know, if you're gonna vote, then vote wisely. Okay? Vote with your brain. You know, use your logic. Forget about the emotion and the little selfish things that you're looking for, okay? Vote for what you think is going to help the country overall, all right? And take your personal issues to someone local and let them work it out, all right? I mean, what else can I tell you? You know, when I vote, I don't just go in there and just check everything that says that D next to the name or something like that. That's not the way to vote, okay? It's not a football game, okay? This is real lives are at stake when you vote. Real people's lives can get destroyed by the things you decide on your ballot, all right, and the people you select on your ballot can change the lives of thousands and thousands of people in this country. And you don't want that. You know, you don't want that unless you know that the things they're going to do are going to be positive things that are going to help people and not, you know, kick the legs out from under them, what little they got holding them up. You don't want that. You know, I just, you know, a little more thought about your fellow man out there can really go a long ways in helping good people get into situations where they can make good decisions, you know, for large groups of people. You know, that's why this country voted for Biden. They knew Trump wasn't going to think for us. He wasn't going to consider anything we needed. He spent the 4 years as president doing what he wanted for himself. Selfish, selfish, selfish. That's all that guy ever did. You know, he's so selfish, he got a lot of people killed in the process. You know, the fucking guy ought to be sitting in there for second-degree murder as far as I'm concerned, because he talked a lot of people into doing some harmful things to themselves to fight COVID instead of listening to the CDC. No, he thought he just put his 2 cents in there and tell people to go snort bleach or put fucking lights up their ass and all this. I mean, this is the shit you got from him, okay? This is the guy that didn't give a fuck. You know, he walked around without a mask on a lot of the times. You know, and when he got sick, he got a special treatment that kicked it in the butt. Why did he didn't have to care, you know? So what? People were dying everywhere. So what? New York was falling apart. It was like ground zero for all the shit that was going on COVID-wise in this country. But he did not do a thing to help them out. No, he went and played golf. This is what you want, right? For you know, a leader, you know, somebody that's a mob boss as a president. How is that going to be a better choice? I mean, isn't that what you're trying to call Biden, as a mob boss? You know, well, what the hell's what do you think Trump is? Christ, you know, everything you're bitching about with Biden, you know, everything you're accusing Biden of done, Trump has already done. Trump has already done. Okay, the stuff you're accusing Biden of, there's no proof to back up what you're saying. But if you take those same accusations and you hurl them at Trump, there's a lot of fucking proof to back that up. Okay, and we saw it all. We saw the proof in the hearings and stuff, and all the people that came forward and said what they knew about him. There's all kinds of shit, and you can't hide that. You cannot hide that, and you just, you know, trying to say Biden's worse than that, you're fucking wrong. You're just wrong. On so many levels, you're wrong. All right? I mean, Trump has got you thinking, you know, that the sky is red instead of blue. You know what I'm saying? He's got you thinking all kinds of fucking shit. You know, and you people need to stop listening to him. You really do. You'd be a whole lot better off, you know, just shutting off the TV, you know, and going about your lives and forget about what the hell that man says, okay? Because it's never going to be anything that's going to help you. It's all going to be about drumming up your anger, your hatred, making you think more stupid things, so you'll go out and vote against your own self-interest. That's all he does. That's all he's good for. And once he gets your vote, hey, goodbye. You know, I don't care if you destroy your life for me. I don't care. I'm not going to help you. You know, so what? All those people there, 9/11, the January 6th folks out there, he ain't cutting him no slack. He's making promises, oh, you vote me and I'll pardon them all. Bull fucking shit. He ain't going to do a goddamn thing to save those. Them people, they're in there to rot. A lot of them. They're never going to get out of there. Okay? He's saying all the right things to get your vote, and you people are stupid enough to fall for it. And yet you say you're aware of other people doing the same thing, and you hate them, but no, we won't do it because Trump's doing it, right? And trust me, I know how you people think, okay? Because I know somebody in my own life that's a friggin' maggot nut, okay? And everything she says out of her mouth is a fucking pile of shit, you know, that she gets from Fox News, so I know where you people are getting your crap from, all right? Turn that shit off. Fox is not going to be your savior here, okay? And neither is Trump. All right, so anyway, I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. So please subscribe, comment, and treat each other nice out there, okay? I know there's a lot of anger and everything right now, but it's only because you're creating that in yourself. Stop with the anti-Semitism. That gets you nowhere, but more trouble, more injuries, more deaths even. Okay, stop it. And keep your ears open for any sicknesses or anything like that. So if you can't go outside and be nice, then stay home. Jesus. All right. So I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.